Harman Singh Johar from Austin, Texas. Bamba has three main offices in Toronto, London, and Nairobi. We also have satellite offices in every country we're active in, such as one in Dar es Salaam, one in Kampala, one in Johannesburg, and we just finished opening our Western branch in Nigeria. Bamba was founded in 2012. The real brains behind Bamba would be Alice Mali, who's our CEO. He partnered with Shahzad Tijani, our VP our VP of Sales, and then Faiz Hirani, who is our lead dev and IT coordinator. I fill two roles. One, I help build out the operations and processes of the entire company, really focusing on using Africa as an example to set precedent on how we execute certain tasks, how we build the corporate structure of the company, and so on. And then I also work out of Austin, Texas, just generally helping build out some new research and development projects and run programs. I worked for Techstars, which is a global accelerator of tech companies. And Bamba was one of our companies that came through the accelerator program in Austin. So for about 4 months, I worked very intensely with Bamba as well as 9 other high-tech companies in the same capacity, helping them build out processes and executing a variety of projects. And then just at the end of the program, I felt a very good connection with the partners at Bamba. Really liked the mission and was really interested in some of the larger big data projects that they had coming up. And it just was a natural fit. I was looking for a little bit more adventure, so from Texas to Africa. Bamba has, I believe, 16 employees currently, and we're onboarding another 5 within the next month. And I think we're planning on expanding to about another 10 or so in the coming year. Bamba extracts any form of information from emerging markets. There's a very large amount, there's about 1.5 billion people in emerging markets like Tanzania, Kenya, so on, who don't have computers or don't have access to rich social media. So all of their data, their desires, and their opinions is being lost. Their voices aren't being heard. Bamba uses SMS capabilities to access their opinions, reward these individuals in a pretty major way, and then aggregates that information to make a very valuable data set. So everything from bringing major brands that Africans want, all the way to telling your governments where your budget should be allocated. Any form of information, we can find it in opinions, data, anything like that, and pass it on. We focus a lot on mainly 2 verticals. The first one is private companies, so a lot of market research firms. We have some of the largest in the world as clients right now. Unfortunately at the moment we're not allowed to mention names till these exercises are closed. And then the other market vertical is really NGOs and governments, where this is where we look more for interesting case studies or uses of our technology. So as previously mentioned, the government of Kuala County used our services to figure out where to allocate their budgets for the coming year. We're just the type of people who take every opportunity that comes our way, right? That's more or less the definition of an entrepreneur. So when we had the opportunity for Lion's Den, I mean, there were just so many positive factors. Everything, the associated publicity in media, potential access to funding was actually a considered factor, because while we do have a round open and we're doing quite well, the fact that these lions have the publicity they have being on Lion's Den, as well as the connections they already have set up, that was a pretty alluring fact. To bring in more people, equity needs to be freed up. So as opposed to individually losing X percentage, they dilute their shares, creating a larger amount for other investors to access. Money's money, but where it's coming from and who's guiding it and who's guiding you is the most important thing. As I mentioned, Bamba's, our current round, we're very healthy. We're very lucky to be able to pick who we want as our investors. And once the money's not a factor, very much like who that person is as an advisor is really where their value comes in. A bank can give you money, but a bank can't give you connections, can't open doors, can't set meetings, can't guide you on mistakes that it's already made. A lot of it was some carry on over. Working for Techstars, I did help some companies on their applications to Shark Tank. Living in the U.S., I watched Shark Tank pretty religiously as an entrepreneur, so I was very aware of how rigorous it can be. So we effectively planned that we were going on Shark Tank as opposed to Lion's Den in terms of over preparation, making sure that any possible question we were able to answer it. And I mean, honestly, a lot of that is also if you're going and raising serious money from serious investors, if you must know this information. If you don't, then you'll never get through the front door. So going into Lion's Den, they just asked us the same questions that every investor has asked us.